Texas is full of big cities and stories of triumph. But far from the spotlight, there are small towns built by people who had just become free, then slowly pushed aside. After 1865, formerly enslaved people created their own communities, churches, schools, businesses, even local governments. These towns were small but independent. They didn't fall because they failed. They were sidelined by highways, displacement, gentrification, and policies that chose growth without them. Today, some are just names. Others still exist quietly. This video isn't about nostalgia, it's a question. Who gets to stay when history moves forward? And who gets left behind? First, there's Freedmen's Town, the earliest root of Black life in Houston. This community began taking shape in 1865, right after emancipation, when formerly enslaved people settled in the 4th Ward near Buffalo Bayou. They built homes from handmade bricks, established churches, schools, and small businesses, creating a self-sufficient neighborhood within a still segregated city. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, Freedmen's Town had become the social, economic, and cultural heart of Black Houston. Hundreds of Black-owned businesses thrived, and the area helped shape the city's early Black middle class, with leaders like Reverend Jack Yates played major roles in education and community organizing. But by the mid-20th century, the area began to erode. Construction of Interstate 45, eminent domain policies, and waves of gentrification gradually fractured the community and pushed out longtime residents. Today, even though it's officially recognized as a heritage district, most of its historic structures are gone. Next is Independence Heights, a historic area in North Houston that was once an independent town founded by an African-American community. Today, it's part of Greater Houston, with a shifting population. The percentage of Black residents has dropped from about 60% to around 1/3. Annexation, urbanization, and demographic changes led to the loss of local control and the displacement of longtime residents. According to historical records, the area was built in the early 1900s by Black families moving out from central Houston. On January 25, 1915, it became the first city in Texas to be incorporated by African Americans, starting with around 600 residents. In its prime, Independence Heights thrived with homes built by residents, churches, small businesses, and community institutions supporting self-reliant Black life. But in 1929, it was annexed by the city of Houston, ending its independent status. Ames is a small city in Liberty County, Texas, now known as one of the majority Black communities in the greater Houston area. It began as Rachel Station during the Civil War era, named after pioneer Darius Cyriaque Rachel, and later took the name Ames after a railroad worker assigned to the area. It had a train station by 1890 and a Catholic rectory by 1915, before officially incorporating in 1972 through a vote by local residents. Recent data estimates the population at around 1,200. The city is predominantly African American, about 87%, making Ames one of the highest percentage Black communities in Texas. But despite that majority and slight population growth, structural challenges remain. The median household income is about $44,000, relatively low compared to the rest of Texas, and the poverty rate is around 25%, well above the state average. Meanwhile, Barrett, often called Barrett Station, is an example of a freedmen's community that exists on the edge of a major city, yet was never truly integrated into the larger economy. Barrett was founded in the late 19th century by a formerly enslaved man named Wright Barrett in Harris County, using the Houston-Humble rail line as its initial access to jobs and transportation. From the beginning, it developed as a self-sufficient African-American settlement with churches, schools, and strong social ties. In the first half of the 20th century, Barrett served as a stable, residential pocket for Black workers who had been pushed out of Houston by segregation. Today, the community faces clear structural limitations. The median household income in Barrett is below the Harris County average, and poverty remains high. Despite being surrounded by the sprawl of metropolitan Houston, Barrett is stuck as a residential area with little outside investment, limited public services, and few local job opportunities. Tamina shows how historic Black communities can become squeezed by modern development surrounding them. Today, Tamina is an unincorporated area with a population of about 2,000. Recent census data shows Tamina's median household income is far below the Montgomery County average, with a significantly high poverty rate. Ironically, Tamina is now bordered by fast-growing areas like the Woodlands, but partial annexation, land disputes, poor infrastructure, and pressure from developers have left the community behind. Tamina was founded around 1871 by a formerly enslaved man named Sam Yates in what is now Montgomery County. From its early days, Tamina grew as a self-reliant freedmen's town with churches, schools, and family-owned land passed down through generations. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Tamina served as a relatively stable rural Black community, even though it never developed into a major economic center. Unlike Tamina, which is being squeezed by urban expansion, Shankleville is a freedmen's town that remains small from the beginning and has been almost untouched by modern development. There was never a period of major economic boom in Shankleville. Its strength lies in the continuity of the community, not in growth. In the early 20th century, the area served as a safe haven for Black families in a region still marked by racial violence. The community was founded around 1870 by Jim and Winnie Shankle, formerly enslaved people who purchased land in Newton County, East Texas. From the beginning, Shankleville developed as a rural African-American settlement, with churches and schools at the center of social life. Today, the reality is extremely limited. There's no industry, no downtown, and no significant outside investment. Mosier Valley shows how a freedmen's town can become pressured simply for being too close to a growing economic center. Founded in the late 19th century by formerly enslaved people, Mosier Valley is located in what is now between Euless and Fort Worth in Tarrant County. From the start, it developed as a self-sufficient African-American settlement with churches and schools at the heart of social life. In the early 20th century, Mosier Valley remained relatively stable as a working-class community, especially for Black residents employed in the industrial and service sectors of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, though they were never fully accepted in the surrounding cities. While there was no period of major economic boom, the community served as a safe and sustainable space. Today, Mosier Valley remains unincorporated, with a small population and a median household income below the Tarrant County average. Next, Quakertown is a striking example of a freedmen's town erased outright by city policy. The community was founded in the late 19th century just south of downtown Denton and was home to African-American families with houses, churches, schools, and thriving small businesses. By the early 20th century, Quakertown had grown into a stable and self-sufficient Black neighborhood, even under strict segregation. But in 1921, the city of Denton formally decided to eliminate Quakertown under the pretense of building a city park. Residents were given low compensation and forcibly relocated to another area now known as Solomon Hill. Homes, churches, and schools were destroyed. The entire community vanished from the city's physical map. Today, the former site of Quakertown is Civic Center Park. No residents, no economy, only a historical marker remains. Antioch declined through gradual neglect. Its downfall wasn't sudden. Antioch faded over time. Outmigration of younger generations, the mechanization of farming, and limited access to education and non-agricultural jobs caused the population to shrink. The school closed, social life dimmed, and eventually the community lost its function as a living settlement. Today, Antioch is classified as a ghost town, marked only by a cemetery and historical signs. Antioch was founded after emancipation in the late 19th century as a freedmen's settlement in Lee County, Central Texas. Built by African American families seeking land, safety, and independence away from racially hostile towns, Antioch, like many freedom colonies, centered life around the church and school. In the early 20th century, it functioned as a small, stable rural community, but never saw major economic growth. Its reliance on small-scale farming made it vulnerable to structural change. While Antioch faded due to rural isolation, Bear Creek was overtaken by urban expansion. This community was formed in the late 19th century as a freedmen's settlement in what is now Dallas County, founded by African American families who built their own churches, schools, and social networks. Throughout the early 20th century, Bear Creek functioned as a stable Black rural community, though it never became a major economic center. The turning point came after World War II. Rapid urbanization in the Irving area and beyond, infrastructure development, and school integration weakened Bear Creek's original structure. The community school was closed, land was gradually fragmented, and many families moved elsewhere in search of job opportunities. Then there's Cuney, located in Cherokee County in East Texas. It developed in the late 19th century and grew into a town known for having a majority African American population. Today, the reality is stark. As of 2026, Cuney has a population of about 117 people, with a median household income well below the Texas average, around $33,000 US, and a high poverty rate of 32%. Local job opportunities are almost non-existent, prompting many, especially younger generations, to move away. The town originally grew along a rail line and was supported by farming, offering a place for Black residents pushed out of larger cities. In the early 20th century, Cuney enjoyed a period of relative stability, with its own school, churches, and small-scale local commerce. But like many small towns in East Texas, its economy remained heavily dependent on agriculture and limited local work, lacking any real industrial diversification. Joppa shows the fate of a freedmen's town swallowed by the city around it. Founded in the 1870s on the banks of the Trinity River by formerly enslaved people, Joppa became a self-sufficient community with its own churches, school, and small farms. For decades, it served as a relatively stable Black settlement in South Dallas, socially separated from the city center. In the early 20th century, Joppa supplied labor to Dallas industries, but never received public investment on an equal scale. The biggest pressure came after World War II. Highways were built, heavy industrial zoning surrounded the area, and urban facilities crept in. Pollution rose, access to basic services remained limited, and property values declined. Today, Joppa is still inhabited, with a population in the hundreds, but the median household income is far below the Dallas average, and environmental health risks remain high. Kendleton stands as one of the earliest all-black towns to achieve formal self-governance. It traces its roots back to a freedom colony established around 1867 by formerly enslaved people in Fort Bend County and was officially incorporated in 1900, making it one of the earliest incorporated African-American towns in Texas. In the early 20th century, Kendleton had its own local government, schools, churches, and a small agriculture-based economy. This period of stability didn't last. Agricultural mechanization, outward migration, and limited local job opportunities led to a population decline throughout the 20th century. The most recent census data shows only about 400 residents, with a median household income well below the Texas average, just $41,000, and very few local job prospects. Still, Kendleton is now working to reclaim its identity. A newly dedicated Freedom Colony monument marks official recognition of the town's historical significance. Unlike Kendleton, which began as a self-governed town, Deep Ellum developed as a hub of African-American culture and community at the heart of Dallas. The district took shape in the late 19th century as segregation pushed Black residents and other immigrants to settle near the rail lines. From the early to mid-20th century, Deep Ellum thrived as a center for Black music, business, and nightlife, launching legendary blues and jazz artists like Blind Lemon Jefferson and Bessie Smith. Hundreds of clubs, shops, and small businesses made it one of Texas's most important Black cultural districts. Its decline began after World War II. Integration, suburbanization, and highway construction diverted economic activity, while discriminatory lending made it hard for local businesses to survive. By the late 20th century, Deep Ellum faced vacancy and high crime before entering a phase of revitalization and gentrification. And finally, there's Clarksville, a freedmen's town that still stands physically, but has been socially transformed. Founded in 1871 by Charles Clark, a formerly enslaved man who purchased land west of downtown Austin and sold plots to other Black families, Clarksville grew into a self-sufficient Black community. It had churches, schools, and strong family networks, even while Austin remained deeply segregated. By the early 20th century, Clarksville was relatively stable, but its proximity to downtown became a turning point. Rising land values, city development, and property market pressures from the mid-20th century onward slowly pushed out original residents. Today, Clarksville is a prosperous historic district, with household incomes and home values far above Austin's average.